Hey, welcome everybody. Todd McFARLANE here. Let me double tap here, see how this works. Experiment with something. What happens if I go this way? What happens to everybody's phone? Does it change at your end? I've got somebody here experimenting.
Your face now. I think it's oh,
Can you see it?
it's frozen.
It's frozen. All right. Anyway, we're gonna double tap. All right. Couple things.
That's what it does.
Couple things I want to show you with some. Look at here. You guys are cool. Look at for months and months and months. Somebody gave me this Yoga Cats calendar, and wouldn't you know it, that I was at a convention and somebody came up to me, God bless you fans, and gave me a Yoga Dogs one. So now I've got a matching pair, Yoga Dogs and Yoga Cats. So if anybody's got Yoga Rhinos, I appreciate those coming. On my desk here, look at this, it's cool. Look at this, dragon. We're gonna see if we can't come up with some of our dragons here next year. So we're gonna do it, but let's, oh hey, and look at this, cool. You two can get melted beads into the shape of your face if you want. I found this at a convention. Some kid had done it. Kind of cool, $5. All right, so let's look at some of the artwork. Spawn. This is Spawn issue 259, 258 is just hitting the stands. This is Eric Larson doing the pencils, and I'm doing the ink. So let me just show you real quickly how we modify this and how Eric gives it to me. So let's just take, let me see, go close to, can I turn it sideways?
Yeah, it'll just show.
They're saying I can turn it sideways. It'd be better. All right. So we've got this face right here, and if I click off right here on my computer, there's sort of some of the early stuff that Eric gives me, and then there's some of the ink and stuff that I do. I can turn this off and on, and when I do that, then you can see there's what Eric first gave me, and there's what I inked right there. And so again, take a look at things like the eye. You know, he gave me an eye. Again, he didn't have to get too official with it, right? Just indicate to me it's an eye. I'll make sure that it looks kind of cool and sexy, right? I'll make sure that the hair, look at the hair here. Give me a couple of strands of hair. I'll add a bunch of hair. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. But again, you can see that if I start doing that, I do that to all the panels here, you'll start to see, you know, like in this one here, watch the clicks here, or excuse me, the number of lines that I do here. I'll add it, and then I'll show you some really sort of cool stuff that's even more obvious in a minute. Here she is running. This is just page one, just showing you some silly stuff. Again, you know, it's sometimes hard to see, but if I go close, and I don't know if you guys can get this, but you can look at the hair and the mouth. You see I filled it in with black, added some extra detail that's in there. Same here, some silly stuff that's here. But let me show you some that are a lot more dramatic here. So I'll go, do I want to save this? No, I don't want to save this because I've already saved it. So let's look at something that's sort of bigger. So now, boom, 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 I'll tell you what. So here's this is a big 2-page spread, right? You can't quite see it on the screen. It's going to be awesome. Right, here's my hand. I'll show you my hand. So it's a big 2-page spread. And what you have is, you've got Spawn jumping here, right? And then you've got this big Satan character, because it's called the Satan Saga Wars, right here. So there's Satan, and he's coming. And Satan is, if you can see the size of him and the scale of them down here. Let me try to get close enough. This is the size of the characters that Spawn has been fighting. So Spawn is basically this size. Right here, and then here's the big army here, and then all of a sudden here's the Godzilla size, and he's coming trying to crush Spawn, and he's got the big sort of cool Eric Larson mitt there. Now that's what Eric sort of gives me. I go in there and add some blacks, but now I'll show you some of the details here. So first thing I do is I just take little pieces. I'm going to go in close. So here's the thumb. We began doing some detail on it. But, and even though it's interesting, we got some nice wrinkles on it. Here's what I end up doing with it at the end. Boom. Right? There's the start of it, and then kablamo. Right? So now we get in close. Again, I'm going to go in super close here. You can see all of this. Let me see if I can, sorry about that, I got my finger in the way. I'll blow it up even more here. So, here it is up on the screen. I'll click it off now. Again, there it was before. There it was, all the lines. Now again, if you can see, right? Even in little sort of silly places like right here, right? If I go up in here, just adding some little texture to him, right? If I click it on and off, on, off, on, you can see all the line work. Well, if you look at that, if I pull it back again, I hope you guys can get a nice view of that. Then you get, here's the hand. Okay, so we've got that. Now we go to the head and the legs. So let's go over here. Kablamo. Right? Same thing. Look at the leg. Let's go close, a little bit closer to the leg. Turn it on, turn it off. Right? If we get in a little bit closer, you may see it even a little bit more. On, off, on, off. Let's go to the face. Here's the face. Right? And then here's some more. If we pull back, I think this might actually be the tail. Some of this changes some of the tail and some other things. So here's the tail right here. So watch the tail. I changed it because Eric drew it. I like Eric, but he drew it so it looked too much, I thought, like the horns on the head right here. So I didn't want it to be confusing, so I actually changed it. So if you go in close to the tail, this is the end of it, you can see how dramatically I shifted it. I'm still not done. I'm going to add a little bit of texture to it, but you can see that. But then even just silly stuff like here's Spawn. Look at some of the rocks around him. Watch some of the stuff pop when I turn it on and off, right? So I fixed the tail. I have to add some more to it. But as you can see, even just here, adding a little bit of spikes on there and some goofy stuff. I think in the corners, let me move my thing here. I think maybe even in the corners, I may have added some stuff. See how the rocks start popping? So again, I'm not nearly done with all this, but if I pull this back right here, you can start to see how much work is in there. And if we go back to the original, we take layer 1 off, layer 2 off, and look at the hand. Oh, hand, sorry. And we get the third layer off. You can see it goes from here to here. So again, 1, 2, 3, and it starts to look a little sexier, right? Even in little places here in the corner, let me get away from that. Even in the corner, I start adding some extra details to the ground there. Even the rock, right? Silly stuff to the rock. Just keep adding it. Just goofy stuff, right? So, but that's what we end up doing. And then if I'll show you another page here since we're done with that one. Here's another one I was working on earlier today. So again, here's one here where I think you'll see a pretty big jump in it, you know. So Eric, this is what Eric gave me right here. And again, his storytelling is impeccable. I'm going to actually turn this way now. Hopefully it doesn't mess any of you up. I'm going to go this way because it'd be better. So, you know, there's Al Simmons. We're giving him this new hairdo, so, you know, it's shaved, so it looks like he's got horns on his head. It's kind of cool. But there's the shift. You can see the eyes. The eyes don't really move, although I added, again, a bunch of line work on it. But so the eyes are there. But as you can see, I did something like, look at in the back. Look, if I turn it off, you know, Eric had the cowl way up here. I know that we're going to put a word balloon in here. So since we're going to put a word balloon in here, then I want to make sure that I bring it down a little bit lower so this is empty. So you can see even just silly stuff like that. But, you know, I give a little, I made him frown because I assume he's a little pissed off since sort of Satan's got his wife right now, her soul. So again, there's just goofy stuff like that. This panel isn't quite as dynamic. I've just been working on this. But again, if you can see like pieces, you see Wanda's hair popping, right? So again, you can see sort of the hair and the shadows, all this stuff up in here. I don't know why it's not focusing. Come on, Todd McFARLANE. Here we go. There it is. So anyway, just goofy stuff. Thought I'd sort of show you what it is that we do on a daily basis. This face right here, I'll rework it so it looks more like a standard Spawn face, but it's what we do. And like again, same thing. You can see when you go flash it on and off, just the one panel, especially this one, right? You start to see some of the differences. So, anyways, the other thing we're going to start to do is, what's that? Oh. The other thing we're going to start to do is try and see if we can find a bunch of cool stuff to give away. So we're going to do this a little bit more regular and see if we can't give away some more gifts depending on your questions that you happen to send this way. So we're going to figure that out. Stay tuned. In the meantime, we have a giveaway for our statue of the medieval spawn. So you guys can go and look at that. That's on spawn.com or Facebook, I mean. What is that? It's on my blog post. They just told me. I'm not smart every day. And then we also have one that's a Game of Thrones giveaway. That one is at McFarlane.com. Go do it. But again, if you want to go take a look at those, I think some of it you can actually win toys for a year on McFarlane.com. But we're going to try and do some stuff here on the Periscope that basically will. That there we go. That I'll be able to show you some goofy stuff, and then what I'll do is we'll do some contests, and either I'll answer your question, and whoever answers your question, I'll give you something free signed, or I'll ask you a question like, if we were doing a giveaway, it might have been something like this. On Al Simmons' head, what did we put in his hairdo to make him look a little more nastier? And the first person that says, oh, you made it look like he's got horns, then you guys are the winner. And I'll pick one or two of you guys, and you go, you're right, you are good, you were paying attention, and we'll give some giveaways. Anyways, thanks for joining. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back talking to you probably tomorrow, and bye. Good day. Oh, Periscope down. That's it. I've got to say Periscope down.
Did you swipe down?
I did.
Did you stop the broadcast?
I don't know. I think so.